snacks.
What it do, snackers, snackettes, and snack X's? It's your boy Gage. I am here with Jokes and Sin, and you are now tuned in to Loading Snacks Weekly, where we get together once a week and we talk about things that are happening in pop culture. And today we're going to discuss Halo. It's been a while since we've discussed Halo, I feel like, gentlemen.
Definitely.
Yeah. So we definitely have to get that done. We're going to talk about the new Joker movie. But before we do that, Jokes, you have a job to do.
Yes, sir.
Jokes is going to get that Beacons link up for everybody who's hanging out and watching in the chat right now. That makes it the easiest way to get a hold of us, to find us, and so forth. Hey, yo, I don't know what's going on Facebook, but I can never see who that is.
But it's Cuddy.
What up, Cuddy?
I don't know. Facebook on their own lane tech.
Maybe. You know, probably. So it's probably one of those things where we need to like unlink it,
relink it back up,
yeah, like that, because the because the interwebs. Sin, you got a job to do.
Yeah, so let's shout out our top tier patrons, starting with Anthony Cunningham, Marcus Houston, Susan Dortch, Tyrone Carson, Meticulous Skin, Alex Lee, Ellis Mbe, and Carmen Ferguson. Thank you very much. We truly, truly appreciate it.
1,000,000,000%. Again, Patreon is just really the best way to support us. Outside of liking and sharing and subscribing and all of that kind of stuff. Really, really, really helps us. I want to start by talking about what's going on this weekend. So this weekend, our good friends over at Transcendent Events are hosting the cosplay cruise. 7 p.m. at Fells Point. So 7 to 9. Look, it's come as a pirate. Come in your spooky. Come as both. Or just come as you are and hang out. Again, it's like limited capacity, so I don't know that there's many spaces left, but like if you're interested in just kind of hanging out with some cool folks, there are tickets that are available. What up, Doctor Who? Jokes, I threw a link up in the private chat. I think you can see there's a link that will take you directly to it, right?
Negative. It is.
If not, then Sin can grab it, I'm sure. But and that way he can throw that in the chat, so anybody who's interested can go and check it out and see what the pricing is like for tickets. I think there's like 3 levels. There's different ticket prices that come with a different number of drinks. And so forth. So Sin and I will be there hanging out and cruising with the cosplayers. There's going to be some karaoke, so
you gonna be singing.
We're all going to sing, right, Sin?
No.
Let's talk about that for a second. You used to sing, Sin. What happened?
I don't hum along. One said sing.
Is Sin going as a one-piece character?
Hum along.
No, but I might wear a one-piece themed hoodie or shirt, depending.
I mean, it's not bad. I'll probably be wearing a bandana. I guess that's gonna have to count.
for your pirate gear.
Yeah. What's up, Heather? Okay. Cosplay cruise this weekend. 7 to 9. Let's cruise around the inner harbor, y'all. You know what I mean?
Right.
It's going down, rain or shine. There is
water get on you.
Yeah, don't let that happen. Can I tell you that, like, for the first time ever, I'm sure I've been there, but I just never paid attention to it. Like, I was actually at the water of the harbor, like, when the tide came up. And I was like, "This is disgusting."
Hey, listen. When we was in Bmore for Baltimore Comic Con, and we had went to the Hard Rock and just walked past the water right there, like that was already disgusting.
Yeah, I mean, It's only gotten worse since you were in 8th grade, Joe. You know what I'm saying? Andrew says, "Hey, I hope you're well. Been dealing with a lot over here. My Mimi was involved in a car accident this past Saturday and didn't make it. Man, I'm so
Sorry to hear that, man.
man, that's terrible. My thoughts and prayers are certainly with you and your family.
Mm-hmm.
At a time like that, life is just so short, and you can't, you don't know. We never know when our next day is going to be. So hug the ones you love. You know what I mean? Let them know how you feel and keep them close. If there's anything that we could do, just reach out. Andrew, for sure. Please. And thank you for tuning in. Hopefully we can bring a little bit of a smile to you today, in this next hour or so, while we talk about things that don't really matter but do make us happy. So, hopefully we can do that. Jokes, what's your history with Halo?
I have played every single Halo.
Wait, Halo Wars 1 and 2 as well?
Halo, you know what? I played the first one. I didn't play the second one.
She kind of lied.
So I kind of lied. But most 90% of them. But no, I've played since the original Xbox. Halo 3 definitely holds a special place for me. That was 2007.
Yeah.
And that was first year in college. Walked across campus, went to the GameStop, got the collector's edition, came back. This was during band camp, so whenever we weren't actually out there in the streets, like working out and everything, everybody was in the dorm. We was all playing Halo 3. Like it was a problem.
Sin, I am relatively familiar with your history.
Hey, it's co-op, so just a little bit. Come on now, Double Dragon.
The first Halo, a little different, but like the multiplayer.
Yeah.
How would you say Halo has fared over like the last 15 years or so?
I think they started strong with 1, 2, and 3. They built up a massive following, cult type of following. People love, people love the game. People might have found ODST a little bit put off by it since you weren't necessarily playing a Spartan or Master Chief or something like that. I think they gained it all back with Reach, and then with 5 and the ones after it, people seem kind of iffy about it, so they've been struggling to get back to where they once were. Overall, I'm a fan of Halo, so I enjoy just getting together with the fam and playing them. So, yeah.
What has Halo been missing?
Well, I was going to say a co-op campaign, but they added that in later after the last one released.
They did.
What are they missing?
Look,
something there. It's on the tip of my tongue. I can't figure it out.
Is the issue with Halo related to just other first-person shooters? Like multiplayer PvP shooters just kind of coming in and doing what Halo used to do better on consoles? Is it that people would prefer a hero shooter now to what Halo is in its very strict, it's still competitive, but is it the game modes? Is it maps? What is it that seems to be the thing that Halo is lacking?
Personality, I think.
Personality.
I think maybe it lost some personality over the time. Like with these hero shooters, you get all these interesting, cool characters, whether I'm a fan of that or not, because I've actually become a fan of both. I can respect the hero shooter, and I can respect where I get my guy, and I go in and outfit him the way I want, with the moves I want, and the weapons I want, all that kind of stuff. But I think that's partly to it, the personality of it. I don't know, like it doesn't land. Like I ran through the last one, but it was like, okay, I'm done. Like
The story
like,
didn't resonate. It
I didn't
didn't
care about the
resonate the
story
same
like that.
way.
Yeah, like I was having fun because I'm so familiar playing Halo, and it's open world, you know what I'm saying, now, and I can fly around, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I think it's just lost character and personality.
I think you may have hit the nail on it. Like, even though the stories are okay, I feel like they just, like you said, they don't resonate the same way. And
Yeah.
maybe we need to go a little bit away from telling the like traditional new Master Chief story or whatever Halo story it is. And maybe explore something different. Like, I don't want to say Halo needs to go like the open world mass online multiplayer type of thing, but maybe a slight pivot into a different direction for it where we still keep like that multiplayer aspect of how the Halo games typically are, like making it stand alone like they kind of have done, but then maybe make a new type of experience. Cuz I mean, the single player normal storytelling thing, like, it's been done, like, don't get me wrong, Mass Online kind of thing has been done, but I think maybe that would give it a little bit of a different personality. I wouldn't say it's going to be a new personality, but it would make it a little bit different, as in what Halo would typically do.
Yeah, I mean, Halo, I think, benefited in the early days from certain things it was doing that like nothing else was doing, in terms of like having a shield, being able to just kind of fall back and like your health kind of regenerates.
Mhm.
You need to step back from this fight, feeling like the
Yeah.
AI was actually smart, like that they would flank you, they would, you know what I mean? Like, I'm
Mhm.
talking about
Hmm.
just playing the single player game, right? Just like going through the story. The story itself, I'll be honest, I never really cared. However, they were relatively cool new environments, even though they were basically Earth. But
Hmm.
seeing a Halo ring for the first time, being like that, to me was just a really, really
Yeah.
cool kind of out there idea that like this planet is just a ring, and on the
Mhm.
interior of the ring is where all of the ecosystem exists, right?
Hmm.
Um, and then and then I gotta say that I don't think I ever really loved Master Chief, but I did bang with Cortana. Like,
Hmm.
Cortana
Yeah.
just like mattered to me because she was the personality. Like, Chief has no personality, and to an extent, I feel like that was kind of the point. Was that like you're supposed to kind of feel like you're Spartan 117 when you're playing it, and that you're, kind of discovering this world and what's going on kind of at the same time. And I feel like so much of that is gone. Like, I feel like the enemies haven't necessarily been interesting or felt new. I do feel like in the time since Halo came out, first person shooters like Rainbow Six Vegas came out and like grounded the FPS in like realistic situations and gunplay, and gave you like cover to actually get into and hide, and
Hmm.
felt tactical and what have you. And there is something that is lost in the how powerful Master Chief and all other Spartans are supposed to be,
Hmm.
that like isn't there. Like, when you think about Master Chief, you immediately think about how giant they are in this armor, these, soldiers that are crafted to be the strongest, biggest, whatever, and you picture them coming into the battlefield and devastating anybody they come up against. And it doesn't feel like that to play Halo.
No.
It doesn't. Like, and sure, like the Covenant, I guess for aliens, they're bigger and stronger, and what, it just, I don't know. It doesn't feel like Chief shows up and turns the tide of battle for real and really gives, like you don't get that out of it.
Well, not like what's the name? Warhammer.
No.
When they step on the field,
what?
Someone change the flow of battle.
I mean, and that I also feel like might be part of what it needs. Like they're almost, I feel like Chief needs to be able to destroy like hordes of enemies. Like there need to be tons. That's the thing about like Warhammer. They're everywhere, dog. And you just feel dominant. You're fighting, you're losing, but you're regaining it. You back each other. Like it just feels good to play, even though it's more like Gears.
Mm-hmm.
You feel overwhelmed. You also don't feel afraid. Like you just like, hey, dog, we about to go in here.
What? They run up on you. We like, bring it. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's see. I think Young Master Chief would be cool to play. We always just played him when he's already a legend. I don't know if there's anything fun to do as a Young Master Chief.
Yeah, going back, because then you're gonna lose like weapons and all that type of stuff that he's.
Might as well go back to do another ODST.
Well, I mean, look, you can always mess with the lore and add weapons and stuff like that. I mean, they do stuff like that all the time. I don't necessarily think that's a bad idea. I just think that, like, I honestly think that the way that the game plays and the way enemies are set up needs to be you're supposed to feel powerful / unstoppable as the Chief. And I feel like that's not what you get. Like you just don't get that when you play a Halo game. To a certain extent that existed in like the first two. Because you're in the middle of the war and you do feel like as the story progresses, you are slowly turning the tide of battle, even though you're beginning to discover things that weren't part of the initial plan or whatever, right? Things kind of go sideways and, whatever. And then like Halo 2, it's like, bro, they let you play as the Arbiter. It's just like, they play exactly the same. It still felt dope, you know what I mean? From like a story standpoint. And then you take Reach and it's like you're playing as these other Spartans. You have definitely story points in there that happen. You're like, oh, yeah, whatever. It felt good to play and it felt like it mattered. And now it just feels like, I mean,
we're just trying to build more story. Like we want Master Chief to be there and we want to keep making these extra stories.
Reach was one of the best ones. We don't need. I don't feel like
Reach
to be in the lore, but
I loved Reach.
Yeah,
I mean, here's the thing,
right? ODST, Guardians.
People revolted
in
Halo 4 when they made Luke Cage the new Master Chief. They was mad, bro. And I'll keep it a buck. I do feel like a lot of it was because he was black, like because they play exactly the same. People being like, everybody wants to be Chief. The dude he has no personality.
Nope.
He doesn't really matter. He's just an avatar, right? And so they started to give you Spartans with no helmets on and let you see their faces because I feel like they were trying to go for that to allow you to get in tune with like, who the characters were and make them matter and make you care whether or not something happened to them or not, a la what happens in Destiny, even though the story in that is trash. But like when they start doing stuff to certain characters, you like hold tight like guy right there. You know what I mean?
Holler my man every Tuesday though. We got the reset. Like he's not there no more.
He ain't there no more. What is this?
Nathan Fillion was in that Halo game. You know what I'm saying? Like was one of them dudes. And they kind of made Chief the enemy, which I think is what backfired on them the most, was that like they were hunting Chief, so to speak, right? And I think that messed the story up. And I bring all this up because this past week they had the Halo World Championships, which again, that's a lot of people that still play Halo. It is still a thing. But the cultural touch point of Halo is very different now than it once was. And they announced while they were doing the championships that they are rebranding 343 Studios as Halo Studios. And they are moving Halo to Unreal Engine.
Okay.
Getting rid of the Slipstream engine. And look, it's like a 6-minute video. I thought about us watching it here. That's too long. We're not doing that, right? But man, what they showed looks so good in Unreal Engine 5.
Oh, I believe it.
And listening to them talk about how difficult it's been creating their own engine and dealing with all that kind of stuff and trying to implement fixes and whatever, like having to basically split their time between being a tech company and being a development company, and really wanting to get themselves in a position where they can focus on being a development company, right? It really, I would say that some of the biggest issues with Halo Infinite was their failure to be able to deliver new stuff consistently to keep people in the ecosystem continuously playing, right? The updates were just coming too far and few between. How long it took to get to co-op, how long it, right? Like,
yeah, in this world now,
let
you can't do
somebody
that
else.
with the competitor having so many other products out there that are fighting for
Exactly.
that space.
Rapid
Yeah.
fire on their side.
Yep.
And to be honest, for what? Like, whatever money you thought you were saving by creating your own engine and not having to pay out something, say, to Epic in some way. I don't know who that is.
Cuddy.
Headshot pass. I'm happy. I mean, listen. If that's all it takes, Cuddy, you should be satisfied. Like, you know what I'm saying? Look, to be able to slow down as a company and let somebody else, let Epic deal with what's going on with the engine and not, you know what I mean? So they can just focus on making the game and making the play good and giving the updates and making sure that people have new content and whatever. So, like, I don't know what the next move would be, but when I say
clean,
this look good,
pretty clean. Oh yeah,
that thing look good, and like to see it in motion,
yeah,
like to see the energy blading, right? Like in that joint, I was like, all right, okay, you look good. Will it feel good? And will the content matter? Right? So I guess my next question about this to you all is, what is the significance of making an announcement now about moving to Unreal? They announced that they're doing this thing called the Foundry, which is like, it's like a special system for them to go in and develop stuff. It's not like a game or, you know, whatever. But I have to imagine, and you guys tell me whether or not it makes sense to you. I have to imagine if you announce this right now, it's been a couple of years since we got Infinite. You've done a few updates. I think all signs are pointing to a new Xbox probably next year. That's what I think. I think whatever the next Xbox is coming next year. At worst, it's coming in 2026. They will have a Halo game to come out
alongside that console.
And it's either next year or the following year. Like, to come out and say it now and say, like, look, we're working on what, like, the next thing is for Halo. We're moving it over to Unreal so we can make it, so we can focus on just doing game and gameplay. There's a part of me that says, all right, we're probably getting a remake of some sort next year.
That's what I think. Before the next Halo comes, it'll be
good test test to see how it runs inside of Unreal Engine. Don't throw all of it. So, like how we saying, like Reach, maybe we pull one of those and do, because I don't think we need to do the Master Chief, because obviously we have the Master Chief collection that has, you know, updated visuals and stuff for it, but it ain't going to be a remake like in Unreal Engine. But I think maybe we go with something like Reach to kind of test the waters.
Why Reach?
I think Reach was. I think because we've done a lot of stuff already with the Master Chief side, and we haven't really done anything with like ODST and Reach. And I think between the two of them, I feel like Reach was the better. I don't know
ODST
if
is just
better.
different.
Yeah,
Just
I don't think better is the word, but I think with the story and like the gameplay and everything, I think it would make more sense of seeing that probably in Unreal Engine than ODST. Um, but I think that could be a good experiment.
I mean, look, I think that there are stories to be told in ODST that don't have to revolve around a regular soldier.
Mm-hmm.
I think that there are other stories to be like the way that the story unfolds in that, where you can kind of go to whatever section you want and play the part of the story
Mm-hmm.
that you choose. Like there are plenty of other stories that could be told and could be somewhere other than New Mombasa. You could very easily do an ODST too.
That would be my pick. ODST. If they're going to remake it kind of from the ground up, then yeah, I would expand, like you said, throw some more stories in there, stuff like that. Like you could really, really flush it out with all the technology that we have now since when it did originally come out. It's plenty of ways you can take it, handle it, build it up. New city, like you just said, Gage. I think the sky's kind of limit with that specific one. Like Reach, you're just kind of locked into that one story. With this one, you could be real open with it and explore plenty of different characters, plenty of different stories, introduce new people for the future down the line, stuff like that.
Yeah, I think that ODST has much more potential as a game as a service, if you will, right? To kind of have episodes and kind of new areas to visit and new stories to be told within this war. I think that there's something with ODST as far as that's concerned. Now, do people want to play as an ODST? No. No, they do not. No, they most certainly do not. And I think that's a mistake. So I think if you do it, you got to tell the story of another Spartan from somewhere else, maybe somewhere other than New Mombasa. That was where that was, right? Yeah.
Maybe you can build them up to become a Spartan if you hit a certain level or something like that. You can start, I don't know, they start getting Spartan training and unlock Spartan gear for them or something like that.
I don't know, man. Look, people are so funny about like, that's outside of the lore. Like people are so weird about stuff like that. But you know, maybe I just think it's interesting that one, I think it's important that like they haven't given up on it and like rebranding from 343 to Halo Studios. I think is a smart move because it is a clear separation. I think the 343 Studios has struggled with Halo ever since they took over Halo. I think their track record with Halo is trash by comparison to what Bungie was. And Bungie was doing it. And so being able to rebrand, and so whatever this next thing is, whether it's good, bad, or indifferent, you'll be able to separate it from that lineage, from that run of Halo stuff and who had control over the franchise at that point. ODST had parts when you were in a squad. I'd play a part too. We could all squad up. I mean, you right. Everybody except for jokes.
No, I will probably be in that Halo.
Bullshit.
See, I be trying to keep the show clean. And then you go and say something that makes Sin go and say something.
And he can control himself. He needs to learn how to control himself.
But he's not wrong. And that's the
problem.
Would
you say that? How can I?
That's the problem. Yeah, I mean, look, I think it'll be interesting to see what they do. If I'm not mistaken, next year is a specific anniversary for either Halo or I think it's the 25th anniversary.
Let's see.
I think it came out in 2000.
I think that sounds about right.
So I think it's the 25th anniversary of Halo. And so they are planning to do something.
2001. So we're right.
So we'd be
right there.
I mean, but that would make it 24 years, and that's weird. However, if the new system's coming out 2026 and then Halo's coming out,
that makes the perfect alignment for the 25th
anniversary. I'm just saying.
special edition console that no one's going to be able to get their hands on.
Nah, and with Microsoft, if it's a Halo special edition, that's not going to be a problem. That's going to be very different. I don't think that's going to be a problem. Also, like, it's not going to have a disk drive, and people are going to be mad, and so not as many people are going to want to get it or something. I don't know. But there's definitely not going to be a disk drive. Like, I will be so surprised if we get another console that comes with a disk drive for anything at this point, like anything new outside of like this current generation, like going into next generation. I don't think, unless something crazy happens, which something crazy did happen. And I wasn't going to talk about this, but the Epic versus Google lawsuit closed out like today.
Okay.
Or yesterday. And they was like, listen, what the judgment was for I really should read it. I'm not going to pull an article and read this right now. But like what they said Android has to do now for like the next 3 years, they have to open the App Store, make other app stores available within the App Store, allow other people to make purchases outside of the App Store. Kind of the same stuff they did to Apple, right? And they are not allowed to pay for like third-party apps to be exclusive to their App Store for the next 3 years. Like, they're not allowed to do that. Bro, do you have any idea what kind of precedence this might set for game consoles going forward? If like neither Microsoft, Sony, or Nintendo is able to do a deal with third party for them to do a timed exclusive, a full-on exclusive, like the implications for this are kind of ridiculous and will probably ring out industry-wide to anybody else that has a store like this, that has that kind of a storefront. Like, I'm almost positive this is not going to stop with them. Now, are they going to appeal? Absolutely. Absolutely, dog. And does that mean that this is going to be on hold possibly for a while that all takes place? Maybe. But they might also be like, yeah, you can appeal. But in the meantime,
we're going to go over here and just start doing this now.
This is what it is. I mean, because they have basically declared that they have a monopoly and have to open it, which means like, how can Android have a monopoly if Apple doesn't? And how can Sony have a monopoly if Microsoft doesn't? And then, like, obviously, having your own studios is one thing, and doing those as exclusive is one thing. But it also means that a company like Google is likely to start buying studios, buying app developers to make them and bring them under their own umbrella so that they can fill out that exclusive window. And if that happens, and if it even looks like that might bleed over into console gaming, this whole shift where it's like, we're Microsoft, we'll put our games wherever y'all are, could absolutely change. Could absolutely change and be like, oh, can't do third-party deals, can't whatever. That means everything that isn't owned by us has to be on everything, and they can't keep us from getting Final Fantasy. They can't keep us from you're not allowed to do those kinds of deals. The idea of making things exclusive that are the things that you own, all that's gonna change. All that's gonna change.
People gonna start bidding for more studios.
Yep, the bidding wars have returned.
I mean, it's already happening, right?
Yeah.
That was a wonderful side note. Jokes. Why do we call you Jokes?
So it's short for originally when I joined Loading Snack, I'm a
So the other side, like, so back then, like,
I was going by New Joker, which is part of my actual gamer tag that I've used for years. But we got to a point where it's just like, a New Joker is a lot to be saying and like going places. Like you introduce yourself as New Joker. I feel like Gage, you started calling me jokes before we even kind of got to making it like the official name now for it.
Let me make it clear, dog, that I was not going to call you New
New
Joker.
Joker.
I just was not happening, bro.
But it was like that because all of us used part of our gamer tag like as the name. But then it just got to the point where like, New Joker is kind of a lot out of there for it. You know what? Jokes. That's jokes.
Why? What is the significance of New Joker?
So I took two things that I really like. So obviously one Joker was the Joker. New came from Gundam. So it was called New Gundam. So it was Amuro's next evolution in the Gundam that he had. So I took the new off of it, stuck it with Joker, and then we got the 89 at the end, obviously, birth year on there for it, which gave birth to New Joker 89.
So Joker.
Mm-hmm. Because beforehand, like my gamer tag was always something involving the Falcons. It was Falcon X, Falcon X07, Falcon X 2007, and eventually, exactly. And then I hit a point, and I was just like, that shit
The
got to
Falcons
go.
are a joke, and therefore, let me click my name. All right. So Joker though was important and significant to you.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why you picked that. Joker is significant to Sin. Did either of you bother to go see this new Joker movie?
No. Everything I've been hearing is that it's absolute garbage. So
that's not the point. That's your
I
man.
haven't honestly, yeah. I haven't had time to go see that junk. I still want to go see it, even though everyone is saying that it's garbage. But
legitimately, I plan to. Because I watched the first one over the weekend because I hadn't gotten to it yet. So let me watch the first one and then get up in the morning and then go.
Right, because you had never seen the first one, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah.
Also a strange mistake for somebody who loves the Joker as much as you do.
I know.
That's really weird for me, but okay.
Yeah, so watched it, but it ended up running. Started watching like 1 a.m. So like halfway through, I was falling asleep, and I was like, you know what? Let me pause it, watch it when I get up in the morning.
Well, that's kind of, to be honest, it's kind of a rough watch. Not like it's bad, but like it's like kind of slow at some points, and it
wasn't the one to try to put on at 1 a.m. and stuff like that. Yeah.
No,
so by the time I got around to watching it on Sunday, it was like 5 or 6 when I finally got to finishing it. So I didn't get a chance to make it to the theater to go see it, like what my original plan was.
Mm-hmm.
So no, I haven't seen it.
Hey, this movie is doing terribly.
Horrible.
Terribly. It's like it's the worst release. Like this joint is doing worse. Like the opening weekend domestically was like 37 million.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the Marvels did 44, bro.
Ooh.
I'm just saying. The first Joker did like 96 million in its opening weekend. Was the first rated R movie to cross $1 billion.
Mm-hmm.
Was number one until just this year when Deadpool hit.
Mm-hmm.
So the difference in where this movie is and what that movie is really, it's like ridiculous. And I'm going to say that erring towards the side of making it a musical, bad idea.
Mm-hmm.
Bad idea. Because it immediately makes you not.
People who aren't in the musicals are going to be turned away.
You can't take it seriously. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Like, you can't take it seriously.
And it didn't fit. Like, when you hear that after watching the first one, like, yeah, we're going from this, like,
oh, I know.
Joker's kind of, for all it's grounded a lot more. And then you go, yeah, we're gonna turn this into a musical, and like,
well, that
wait,
was the
what?
whole point of the like. I think the reason why that movie did so well is because people resonated with the idea of it adding a level of realism
Mm-hmm.
to like how someone could actually become the Joker, and the idea of like even like the idea of gaining henchmen that all look like the Joker, or where like all of that is in there somewhere, right? And it's again, it's kind of a tough watch, but it speaks to the mental space of the Joker. It does it without involving Batman
Mm-hmm.
at all, which is great. And this, like leaning into it being a musical, is like, I don't understand why you would do that
Mm-hmm.
at all. And like the rumors are that this movie cost 200 million to make, which means they need to do 450 million to break even.
Ooh.
Worldwide, they did like 121 million.
Mm-hmm.
But I feel like that's over.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think it's going to
The way it
Break that.
seems,
continue.
you had that opening week to get that done when people haven't seen it yet and stuff like that. But when everybody come back saying they're walking out of theaters saying it's the worst thing I've ever seen, stuff like that, that's not going to help well with your sales after that first week at all.
And then from what I understand, so typically with a lot of these movies, they screen them beforehand before actually, really releasing it. And they didn't do any type of screenings or anything for this. So there was no, getting some of that response from whether it was critics, the fans, however they had them in there to really take that, like, oh, you know what? Let's go in here and adjust how we did this particular scene or this particular section of the movie. So I think that probably hurt a little bit as well too. But
Yeah. I'm not, I mean, this joint, I mean, The Flash had a $55 million opening weekend. Like I still thought about going to see this, but mostly because I want to see how bad it is now. And I want to try to get in. Like, there was a part of me that wanted to. I think I was trying to make the excuse for it that, like, well, maybe it's a musical because it's in his head that way. Like, in his head,
that's how he sees
what we're witnessing is kind of like, him seeing it as like, this is all a show. This is all, whatever. And look, maybe that's what it is.
Yeah. It makes sense.
If that's the case, I like that concept when you form it that way. I like that. And for I feel like for a lot of people doing it that way probably would go over their head.
Yeah, but I mean, well, then that means you didn't do a good job of doing it. And also, but I also still feel like, look, if you're gonna do it and make it all like a show, it doesn't necessarily need to be a musical.
You got Lady Gaga in it. That's probably one of the reasons why they went with the musical aspect, because we got Lady Gaga in it.
Or that was what their intention was, and they were like, who will be a perfect Harley Quinn if we're gonna do this musical thing?
Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
It should be her. Not that there aren't plenty of other actresses who can sing. Like, there are plenty of other actresses who sing. Freaking Agatha, they be singing all the time on that joint. It's kind of annoying now, but everybody on that joint sings. They all do like plays and have like Tony Awards, and like they all sing. There are plenty of actresses who can sing. You don't need Lady Gaga for that. But does she have the makings of the makeup and the Quinzel? Yeah, she kind of does. So, I kind of feel bad about it because I really did like the first one. And I liked the idea that there might have been an opportunity to actually flesh out that world based on that Joker and those characters, and like maybe even get some of the other villains again, even before you bring in a Batman or you start to introduce whoever else. Like I felt like there was something there, and I feel like that's completely lost now. And like WB, bro, like we talk about them all the time. And for me, Rich, you not wrong. You heard it sucks because it probably does. Like I'm not like for me, you as a company, WB, ISIS Batgirl puts this out. Like hedge all your bets, put it all on this.
Now I wonder how bad was Batgirl. Y'all shelved that. And if this is
Hey,
bad,
listen,
saying,
I bet you
fly,
Batgirl was probably the best thing that they probably have ever created. And because of their reverse, not realizing stuff, they thought it sucked. I bet you that joke probably would have been the best show they would have been playing.
I wouldn't imagine that that's the case. I would imagine. I mean, say, yeah, I heard this too. Why is it?
That's what we're trying to figure out.
But we don't know.
I would imagine, right, that Batgirl gets shelved because it doesn't have any real star power. And that if you're going to choose something to greenlight, you're going to greenlight the movie that has the star power in Joaquin Phoenix and now Lady Gaga, and the joint that is the first rated R movie to break $1 billion.
Yeah, it's a sequel.
When you put the first one out, that's the one you're gonna greenlight. Like that makes perfect sense. Choosing to make that movie into a musical like that, I can't. I don't know, bro. I don't know. I don't know. That doesn't work for me. But we'll see what they're doing in the comics right now for DC, which again, James Gunn is still kind of like at the lead of what that is. The absolute universe and all that kind of stuff seems to be working. They just announced that they're going to do this dynamic duo animated joint.
With the Robins. I did see that.
Robin and Nightwing,
with Nightwing and Robin, and talk show about like some of their early years. There's potential.
It wasn't that. It was a Red Hood in Nightwing.
No, it wasn't. I don't even think it was Nightwing. I thought it was like
it's Tim Drake
and not Damian, is it?
Nah, it's not Damian. It is Nightwing. And and Tim Drake. All right, fine, look it up. But either way, the point is there's potential. Right, Sam?
Yes, absolutely.
So I'm at a place where that's cool. I like that they're going that direction, and that's the thing that they've decided. All right, we'll do this. I feel like they need to just lay off the live action for a while.
I think that's fair.
Yeah.
Like, just stop it. Just don't do it. Whatever the Batman 2 is going to be, because I'm going to tell you right now, dog.
Penguin?
The Penguin, bro. Yeah. That joint is everything. So I was
about to ask, you said lay off the live action, but the shows are fine right now. But the movies are...
Yeah, their movies are well, I don't even know if I say their shows are fine. Their shows are okay. But this is a different universe.
Yeah, so far, that universe.
The Batman is a different universe. And this is only the second thing within that universe. But, bro.
This could be that. That's the one for right now.
Listen, outside of, some really, really bad CG in the first episode. And I mean, like,
criminally bad.
Yeah. Like, again, like,
pun intended.
Like
Scorpion
King bad.
Nah.
What joke was that on recently?
Scorpion King is a different kind of like.
or I should say,
Scorpion King is like bad now. I don't know if it was.
Or
like,
let me say,
Scorpion
not
King as a
Scorpion
movie
King
was bad then, but as far as like the like what they were doing from a CG standpoint,
yeah.
it was
Or
fine then.
let me reword it. Not the Scorpion King movie, but when The Rock was in The Mummy at the end as the giant scorpion CG.
Oh yeah, that was terrible.
Nah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay.
Let's go with first Power Rangers movie bad.
Hey, you talking about the
Megazord joint with
Hey, listen, as much as I love that movie, that Megazord was absolutely garbage.
Yeah, it's bad, but it's quick because it's a driving shit. It's bad though. And nonetheless, the show firing on all cylinders, bro. That joint is super firing on all cylinders. Andrew said it's such a different universe. They changed his last name to just Cobb. Nah, it's still Cobblepot. They just call him Oscobb for some reason. Like he's still Oswald Cobblepot, but
Oscobb.
Yeah, they just call him Oscobb. Like they just and they do sometimes refer to him as Penguin, but they don't always. Like when they refer to him as Penguin, they like say it like you little penguin. Like they say it like
or like offensive.
Like penguin is like you can substitute bastard penguin or something like that. Like it's almost like a
you penguin, you
kind of like yeah. I mean, yo, I'm trying to tell you, bro, that show, I cannot wait for the next episode. Like it's one of those. It's like that.
Okay.
It's like that. Like it's super good. And I'm gonna tell you what. Kristen Milotti playing Sophia Falcone.
Mm-hmm.
Boy, violence, bro. Like I'm talking about doing it, bro. Like that joint it's solid. It's super solid. I'm like, this is the best thing they've done ever. TV show wise, like
took the Penguin.
I mean, there are certain shows that DC has done that have been really, really good. And when I say that, the CW is not included in any of that. Any of that. Because those shows are like comic book good. I'm talking about shows that are like show good in terms of, I'm talking about like Gotham as a show. Little boy Bruce Wayne and them just kind of figuring it all out. And it's not really about him. The joint about Alfred, clean. Like they are shows that exist that just feel like this feels like a cop show. This feels like, you know what I mean? Like it's got that. Like this feels like you're watching The Sopranos. It just happens to be the Penguin.
Okay.
And it's like the comeuppance. My man is coming up, bro. Like I'm so like, and Slim is playing all sides of everybody, bro. Like somebody gonna die. Like people are dying, dog. But like, yo, it's like, yeah, that joint is clean, bro. Like, this is how good that show is. I think that show is so good. It is worth subscribing to Max to watch this show, even if all you do is stop if you leave your subscription after it's over.
That's one of those.
That's how good I think this show is.
Which episode is this? Which episode?
They just finished the 3rd episode.
How many episodes is it supposed to be?
I don't know. I don't care.
I'm only asking because like we're at the halfway point right now.
Yeah.
And I subscribe. It's like, okay, I can at least get in a month for it and have all the episodes.
I don't know. Feel free to look it up. Wow, you know, I just need that joint is
8 episodes.
That joint is
pretty episode,
much
November
it.
10th.
All right. Sin.
Yes.
If they were to take, if they were to take the Joker and make it a show the way they did Penguin, we might be in the most trouble. Like that joint.
It could work. It could work. Like the way you're explaining the Penguin and like I said, just coming off watching the first, Joker movie, it could work.
But not this like Batman benefits by having the majority of his rogues gallery just be gangsters. Like for all intents and purposes, Two-Face is just a gangster.
Yeah.
He's just a mobster. He's not he wasn't a mobster, and then he becomes, you know what I mean? Like, he kind of has that benefit. The Riddler's kind of a sicko, but like, them just acknowledging what happened at the end of the movie in The Batman with like the Riddler is like, I don't know, bro. I'm just telling you they on to something with this joint. That's what I'm gonna tell you, and you should be watching. Is how I feel about it. All right, look. Here's what has to happen. Spooky season. So I felt like we needed to revisit a little something. Are you prepared for this?
Yeah.
Go.
Tim was thinking something else, probably.
I was, but it'll still probably come there. It'll still get there at some point, I'm pretty sure.
We need to revisit our top 10 vampires. We made this list back in 2020. No.
Sin said, nope, I will not be a part of this.
Man said, I'm out, bro.
Well, might as well
100% cheese and rice, dog.
Right on the money. Welcome back.
You okay, buddy?
Yeah, I'm good.
Oh, okay. We made this list back in 2020. And we're going to go through this list. And we're going to see if we need to remove anyone, add anyone, or swap any positions. Are you prepared for this?
Okay.
We have Edward Cullen from Twilight at number 10. Angel at number 9. Our good friend David from the Lost Boys, number 8. Vlad the Impaler, number 7. Lestat de Lioncourt, number 6. Celine, Underworld, number 5. Count Chocula,
The goat.
number 4. Count Von Count.
Count Von Count.
At number
My
3.
name is mean.
It's the best name on this list, bro. Marceline at number 2. And Blade at number 1. What do we think about this list?
Marceline got to drop down.
It's
Count
not bad.
Count Von Count.
We need to bump Marceline for the count.
Yeah.
Count Von Count.
Count Von Count. Teaching our youngsters how to count.
I just want to make sure you want Marceline at 3. No, yeah, Marceline at 3. Count Von Count at 2. Blade at 1.
Yeah, Blake can stay at 1, yeah.
Yeah, Blade's not going anywhere. Blade
I don't care for Marceline, but I know she has a fan base,
Oh, she can.
Because I didn't watch, the show, so.
Same.
Yeah.
Jokes, is this list a good list?
I think the list is fine. Like, as funny as, like, I don't really have, like, a comedy other than Count Chocula. I would probably figure out how to add Dracula in from Hotel Transylvania on here. That's one, like, I haven't watched, and listen, I haven't watched all of them, but he's actually grown on me watching the. I think I've seen how many of them is it? I think it's
There's
4 of
three.
them. It's 3,
There's
and I
at
think a
least
fourth
three.
one, and I think the fourth one is coming. And that Dracula is actually kind of grown on me.
I mean, he's funny. Oh, all right. So who does he replace?
Just to get him on the list, I would just knock out Edward. Because I'm gonna be
Ooh.
honest with you. I'm gonna be honest with you. And I know a lot of people. I have not watched Twilight. I
I
have.
mean, you didn't. You didn't. So why not Marceline? You didn't watch that show either.
I'm good with Edward just dropping off the list.
You a hater.
You don't like the sprinkle? You like all that sparkle?
Hey,
You
listen.
don't like all that?
I've tried to watch. I've tried to watch the first Twilight multiple times, and I fall asleep every single time I watch that.
Yeah, but like you don't care. You don't want to watch it. And when are you
It's
trying to
not
watch
even.
it? Like, who's making you watch it?
No one's making me watch it. Me and Tatiana. No, we tried to watch it a couple of times. Wasn't the fact she was trying to make me watch it. We wanted to watch it, and we fell asleep every single time we were watching that.
You fell asleep too?
Yeah.
To be honest, it doesn't get good until like the third one.
Oh, that's why I didn't go past part 2 then.
You know, on the third one, bro, it's like war. Like, let's go. But who cares?
Try to do it one more time. But yeah, I would put Dracula up there and get rid of Edward.
You would put Dracula.
Ooh. No, hold up. What's their names? What are their names?
From Hotel Transylvania at number 10.
I'll put him at number 10.
And bump Ed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What you got, Sin? I see you typing, Googling or something.
Yeah, I'm looking up Eric Northman and Bill Compton from True Blood. That's what I'm looking up.
Oh.
Yeah, because there's nobody from True Blood on this joint. And I'm gonna be real. I don't know. Angel Mike could go.
I never watched Angel. He can get out of here. Yeah, he can get out of here.
David can stay. Nope.
Not going nowhere. Let's start. I don't know, dog. Celine ain't going nowhere.
Nope. She
Count Chocula ain't going nowhere.
Count ain't going nowhere.
Count ain't going nowhere.
Ron Count.
We get Angel up out of here.
So Angel. Angel and Edward. I mean, they are 10 and 9. So like they're our last two.
Mm-hmm.
It kind of makes sense. I can see them getting bumped. Now, can I see them getting bumped for Hotel Transylvania, Drac? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to do that. Anna says, hey, jokes. I don't know if I'm ready to do that, though. However, on some True Blood,
Bill Compton or Eric Northman.
You got to pick one.
The two main ones.
You got to pick.
I'm going to go Eric. Go Eric Northman. Yep.
Eric bumps Edward. I kind of like
that. I'm cool with that.
You know what I haven't watched in a long time? Queen of the Dam. I don't remember if that was. I just thought about that.
I want to say she was on the list. I think she got bumped.
I don't think so.
I don't think no.
I can tell you this: if she was on the list, she got bumped before I even had pictures of anybody because, when I went through and made these, there wasn't no.
This show actually.
There's nobody extra sitting in the folder. I can tell you that.
This may actually be worthwhile to going back and actually probably as much as I don't think like the top 3 I don't think would majorly change, but
I'm
everything
going to repost this to Instagram as a
see
and ask for people's adaptations and changes.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I think I'm going to do. On that note,
yeah, definitely Eric.
Let's have a discussion real quick.
Mm-hmm.
We are going back to Ocean City Comic-Con in almost exactly 2 months. We are doing 2 panels. And our second panel, so we always do our being comfortable being a geek panel.
Mhm.
Well, we don't always. Sometimes we swap back and forth between doing a top 10 of some sort and doing a being comfortable being a geek. This year, because it's 2 days, we're doing 2 panels. And here's the thing. This year, the top 10 is the top 10 animated Disney villains of all time. And I think we need to have a discussion right now. Feel free to start telling us who your favorite Disney villain is, but we need to discuss. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Who is your favorite animated Disney villain? Who's at the top of the list for you?
I'll be honest with you. I might have to think about it. I'm gonna be real with you. I'm about to pull up a list of
Disney. You need a list?
Yeah, I need to take a good long look. Hey, listen, honest truth, there's a lot of Disney movies that I haven't seen.
What a despicable human being.
Ooh.
Andrew, you know what? That
I haven't watched. There's a lot that I haven't seen in a good while. Let's see.
It's a despicable. I don't even ever think it's Slim.
Hey, bro, you know what? Probably put on that list.
What's it? What jokes?
You know, one that probably not as, I guess you could say, like magical powers and all that, but Cruella de Vil. She just wanted to get these puppies and kill these puppies and make them into jackets and all that. Like that was dark.
It's pretty despicable.
That was one of the I may be one. I'm about to
Sin?
Yeah.
Talk to me. Talk to us. Talk to them.
I legitimately do not have a favorite Disney villain, but because I know that we're doing this, I need to go back and revisit a lot. I'm so far removed from a lot of Disney stuff that I need to go back and watch stuff that I haven't seen, like Princess and the Frog, for instance. Never seen that, so I need to go back, sit down and watch that. Go back and watch stuff like Hunchback of Notre Dame, which I've seen like once. You know what I mean? Stuff like that. Like, so I do need to go down memory lane, give myself a refreshing. But just to pick somebody, maybe I'm gonna say Hades. But I haven't seen Hercules in so long, I gotta revisit it to just see how evil in fact he was.
Let me tell you something. I don't know if it's necessarily about how evil they are. So
right,
like it just like
because I love Little Mermaid, I want to say Ursula because that's the one I probably watched the most. Mm-hmm. But for the sake of this conversation, I need to just go back and revisit, some titles. And
I'm gonna keep it a buck with you. As beloved as Little Mermaid is, bro, Hercules cooks that joint though.
I've not seen Hercules in forever.
Evil Queen did curse a baby. This is true. I mean, again, we got villains walking around with poison apples trying to Frollo. Listen.
Yeah.
I have a soft spot for Yzma from The Emperor's New Groove.
Yes, I've only saw that one time.
Oh, I haven't seen that in so long.
Eartha Kitt put her foot in that joint. And that joint, she's
okay.
It's like, I mean, she is trying to kill someone and take over the kingdom, but it's like Scar, top 10. I can't, you know what I'm saying? So like,
that's
Scar's going in. Yeah.
Who's my favorite Disney villain?
Oh, it's homeboy from Mulan. I don't remember his name, but yeah, Slim from Mulan.
And why?
Because how many people does it take to deliver a message?
Bruh. Solidified. Like, just so certified, bruh. Like, literally was just like, let him go. Go tell your emperor that we're on the way. I don't care. Let the two people go. And it turns to the homie and says, how many people does it take to deliver a message?
See, right there.
One.
That's me engaged in the game. Me with the sniper rifle and the bow.
All day.
Done.
Bruh, like, this dude just sat like a gargoyle on the top of the building waiting and just like dropped down with a sword in his mouth. Like, what's up? Came to kill all. Like, I don't care. Listen, they buried my man entire army in an avalanche. Slim popped up like the devil out of that joint. Was like, no, sir. I'm coming to get you. Slim is a whole G. He's a whole G.
This is going to be absolutely hilarious come Ocean City.
Let me tell y'all something. I will take everything y'all have to say into consideration. Ocean City, the fight for this joint.
Oh, this is probably going to be...
It's going to be a problem. It's going to be a problem. There's no two ways about it. I hate Gaston.
Gaston.
Oh yeah, he do. Well, I was about to.
But I don't even really think it's weird because it's like I don't even really think of him as a villain.
You're just a dick.
I was gonna go somewhere else. I was going somewhere else, but very close. I was going, Joe.
Yeah, it's gonna be a really good. That's gonna be a great conversation. I can't wait to do that. I'm gonna tell you what. I don't think, unlike when we did the top 10 like wrestling finishers, I don't think there's any way everyone is satisfied with what this looks like.
Oh no, I don't think so.
This joint's gonna make
the gavel will be out.
This is gonna go to literally when we say we're gonna cut it like that 10 minutes beforehand to kind of go over the list. Yo, people gonna be going at this left and right. Hey, this is probably gonna have the most round of rock paper scissors probably ever.
I'm gonna have to re-up on the Bean Boozled. I'm pretty.
You might as well just order 2 of them.
Yeah, just
it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to wrap the show up. We got a couple things we need to go over. I want to remind you all again that we have the cosplay cruise this weekend. Fells Point. Send if you could get that link up for people again. If you're interested in getting tickets and coming out and hanging out with us for the evening. There is an after party. It's not on the boat. I don't know where. Somewhere in Fells Point.
Yeah, it's like we're going to walk around in bar hop or something like that. They put in the thing.
Yeah, I'm not doing that. However,
no, sir. We've had those discussions.
So that's this weekend. We did choose a movie of the month for Movie Club. It is Van Helsing from 2004, I believe, is when that came out.
See, that's where I thought he was going, Joe. That's where I thought he was going.
Oh no, Hugh Jackman. That joint's not scary, son.
I just know it's the Halloween kind of theme with the monsters and stuff like that. Yeah.
Man, trying to get out of.
Yeah.
No, I've seen Van Helsing. No.
Kate Beckinsale and Hugh Jackman.
Kate Beckinsale's in it. Like,
should be a good. He's like, I'll find a way. I'll make it work.
make it work.
With the lights on.
Get through this.
So that's movie of the month. We will do our discussion the last Monday of the month. The next 2 weeks are probably going to be a little bit different. I am going to North Carolina to try to help with relief for the flood and cleanup and so forth. And so I'm going to be gone for 2 weeks. I don't know if I will have access to do the show or not. That still is kind of up in the air. I don't even know where I'm staying just yet. But so like last week we talked about like, oh, we're going to New York Comic Con. That's not happening. LotCon, that happens like the day I come back. So like that's not happening. But this is important. So
yeah.
Gonna do that. We are still gearing up for things for Extra Life. So like when I come back the following week, so the first weekend in November is Extra Life. So 3 days of video games and shenanigans, and quite possibly some hot ones. Challenges is what it looks like. I have snacks ready.
Okay.
How many pounds of gummy bears?
20 pounds.
Okay.
20 pounds of gummy bears.
Ain't lying either.
Not even.
No.
People probably like 20 pounds of gummy bear.
Yeah. I got some pizza flavored Chex Mix. I'm ready to go. So we do have to tighten up some last minute stuff as far as what games we're playing and kind of get the schedule together, and like there's some work stuff or whatever with jokes, and we'll figure all that out, let you know. We'll get the links out for everybody. The team link is up, so anybody who wants to go and join the team and like play and earn some money, you can absolutely do that. Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
Per usual, there are a million things happening in wrestling.
Yep.
But feel free to fill us in, please.
Gotcha. Before we talk about the actual stuff that's happening for us, though, the latest episode of The Finisher is up, and that is out there for you guys to go to the tube and watch that. But we will be recording our predictions. This weekend is AEW Wrestle Dream. So with everything going on, we are still going to record predictions. Not going to be live for this one, just because of how time and things are going to work out. But we're going to record our predictions, and we'll have those uploaded by Saturday. So, of course, you'll be able to come take a look and see how things go along for that. Normally, and I got to get in a better habit of doing this and making sure I post the results from our previous predictions that we've done. Because you know what, I gotta give a round of applause to this dude Sin that called something that honestly I didn't think was gonna happen, and it did happen last time. So kudos to you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
But we still need to figure out punches, because either way, Marcus still lost that. If I'm not mistaken, that's all that matters. That Marcus ended up losing that either way. But yeah, stay tuned for those coming this weekend.
Sin. Anime chat podcast and Thriller Park. What's the move? What's happening? What's the noise?
Thriller Park. This week we are continuing with Rainbow that we just started. We're doing episodes 4 through 6 this week. It really has us all intrigued, and like I said last week, this is the first one that all of us have never seen. So we're all going in this blind, and things are happening in it, and it is entertaining, a little bit disturbing, but we're all intrigued by it and looking to see which way that it goes. We talk about that more on this week's version of the Loading Snacks Anime Chat podcast, which will drop tomorrow for you Patreon members and everybody else on Thursday morning. Pretty much we're focusing on the fall releases. We go through the list, what we've already watched, our thoughts on them, what we're going to add to our weekly list, that if anybody out there wants to join us, we're going to be doing those Wednesdays around 8. If they want to watch our weeklies with us, but we run through all of that in episode 2 of the podcast. So check it out. Drop a comment. Let us know what you think. Yeah.
Jokes.
Mm-hmm.
In like the next 1 minute,
Mm-hmm.
give us your early impressions of Dragon Ball Sparking Zero.
I'm gonna control myself. I'm gonna make it simple. It's amazing right now. I will say, for those that played it back in the past, they pretty much still use that same catalyst, but they've enhanced a lot of things. I will tell you, this is not going to be you going in and button mashing. You're going to have to be a little more strategic than you were probably back in the day. But as of right now, it's amazing.
Is it though?
Yes, it is.
Worth the purchase.
It is 100% worth the purchase.
If you have never played a Budokai, a Tenkaichi,
Mm-hmm.
should this, as an arena fighter, is this one somebody should jump into?
As an arena fighter, this honestly, Dragon Ball, I believe, probably honestly has the best of the arena fighter games. Like, a lot of them are very cookie cutter, the exact same thing. Oh, Sin, you got a second opinion out there.
Better than Ultimate Ninja Storm?
I will play Dragon Ball over Ultimate Ninja Storm, and I love Ultimate Ninja Storm.
Okay.
But right now, I'm still in the early stages, so I'm just trying to get get through story on here right now. So once I can get through that and kind of explore some other stuff, I feel like we can revisit this a little bit later. But as of right now, gameplay and stuff, amazing.
You think I should buy it?
Oof, my man should buy it. See, I feel like you would have fun with it, but I feel like you probably wouldn't stick to it. I think it'll be enough you would get in, you'll have fun. I feel like if it goes on sale and you pick it up, I think you would be a little happier at that point for it.
Is there any part of you that feels like they are going to do DLC updates for this game that come from Daima?
Oh yeah, they've already announced that. When you pre-ordered the game, you get Daima Kid Goku. So if you pre-ordered the deluxe or the ultimate edition, he's there. So I do expect the story. Once we probably get further into the story of Daima, I'm pretty sure we'll see some of those story elements be added into the game as well.
Interesting. Okay. Sin,
See, senor.
did you have a good time tonight?
Absolutely.
Good. Jokes?
Mm-hmm.
You had a good time tonight?
I did.
Excellent. So did I. I'm glad everybody hung out with us. One more time for Andrew. Listen, man, if you just need anything, reach out to us. You know, I just want to say again, we'll keep you in our prayers. Something like that is always very difficult to deal with. And again, I appreciate you spending that time with us here this evening. You know, it's always good to have you here.
100%.
Jokes? Tell the people what I need them to know.
Remember, y'all, just because you have a well thought out plan doesn't make it a good idea.
With that, we are out. Toodles and loos.
Loading snacks.